the 7900 XTX versus Borderlands 4 at 4K, round 2. This time introducing FSR4. So we've gone ahead and got OptiScaler and the necessary DLL file placed into the game to provide us with FSR4. In the previous video that I had posted, I showed that with FSR3, the performance, I mean, we really couldn't hit over 60 FPS without going into frame generation. Didn't matter what really level, except for ultra performance, which we really didn't want to use. So this time we're going to try to use FSR4 and see if we can get some visual boost, but we'll probably also take a performance hit because, as I understand, FSR4 is definitely a heavier system to run. So we'll see how the 13700KF I have running here is going to handle that. Previously, I think it really didn't max out at more than 50% CPU utilization at any point. So let's go ahead and make sure that we've got OptiScaler and FSR4 running. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and confirm we got full screen here, 3840 by 2160p. So this is 4K. The monitor I'm running is a 60 hertz monitor, so it's not, anything above 60 I'm just not going to be able to really take advantage of, but you'll see the numbers here in Afterburner. So you can kind of just keep an eye on FPS and see where it's at. So let's go ahead and make our changes. So we have badass settings, meaning we're going to leave everything maxed out. Again, this is the 7900 XTX, so I don't see why we would need to reduce anything just yet. You guys can always reduce settings later on, but we're going to make sure that we try to keep this thing as firing on all cylinders as we can. All right, so again, we've got FSR4 selected with balanced, but we'll go ahead and put it to, oops, not that one, this one. We're going to put it to quality. In the previous video, with quality, we were still in the 20s, mid to low 20s for FPS. Not really a great experience. Visually, it looked fine as well, but let's see how we're going to deal with, how FSR4 is going to deal with this. So let's go ahead and enable it. To do that, we're going to press Insert. All right, so we're going to change this to FSR3.x and click Change Upscaler. Let that load, and we've got FSR 4.0.2 set, so we'll do Change Upscaler, apply that. And then we can press Insert again to remove this box. All right, let's get started and see how it performs. Again, we are running badass mode FSR at quality. Oops. Okay. So we're in the 40s. Let's go ahead and start Afterburner here. All right, let's see if we can survive long enough to get any FPS data. Somebody's already shooting at me, great. Oh, shoot. Oh, that didn't take long. Okay, yeah, this is not a good experience. Okay, so the game itself is actually a good experience, right? So it's playing good, it's playing smooth. We'll reset the counters here for Afterburner now. But we're looking at 40s for the FPS. The game looks stellar. Or, like it does, I would say it really does look at the detail. Does look just as good as it did with no upscaling in place. So let's see. Oh, geez. This does not go well. Is that going to blow up? As you can see, CPU is kind of sitting in just below 30% utilization. GPU is just pegged at 100%, and I can tell you my fan is running for sure. Hello? Hmm? Okay, they did a little better this time. Come on, boys, let's play. So just like last time, when running with quality, the frame time does not look great. And I can tell you it does feel, so a good gun, it is better, but whatever. It does feel like it's not exactly perfect. I can tell there's some judder. There isn't any stuttering like you would see with the Unreal Engine 5 as it's loading shaders. That I'm not experiencing. This is more just due to the frame time not being consistent. So, we're getting in the 30s, mid 30s or so. Average is 40, 32, 30. So those are all pretty close. But when you look at the frame time bar, especially when there's enemies on screen, it definitely judders around a bit. It's not bad. I would say this would be totally playable though. All right, let's reset the settings. We're going to go from quality to balanced. And let's see what we get. Now, after enabling OptiScaler, we can go ahead in here and change the actual quality preferences. It will apply it to FSR4. So again, we're at quality in the 40s. It looked better, I would say, than it did with the previous video. It did look a little sharper and cleaner and brighter, so that's good. But we didn't really see much in the way of a performance boost. So let's go ahead and try balanced. Let's go ahead and also restart the frame time counters so that they can kind of catch up with the current one. So far so good, but honestly it kind of looks the same for the FPS. But again, the screen visuals, they're basically identical at this point. I would say it's basically identical. It's not much of a difference. Still looks great. Still not hitting 60 FPS. As far as CPU load, again, we're about 30% right now. So, and again, it's the i7-13700KF, not overclocked. Go ahead, blow up, come on. Let's go this way. Let's see this much, at least with all this jumping around, we're gonna get some good experience with the frame rate changing. So again, looks like the FPS we're going to see here is basically going to be in the mid to low 40s, 1% low 35, 0.1% lows in the 33s. So still not hitting 60 FPS. And again, with FSR4, we're not expecting it to hit higher frame rates, probably even lower, just due to the fact that FSR4 is more intense on the system. But I will say this much, graphically, it looks better. So let's go ahead and real quick, and we're going to go ahead and change settings again, and we'll go to performance. Okay, so now we're in performance, getting a little bit closer there. Again, really no difference. Honestly, no difference. I would say almost no difference from in the FPS range from the previous video. Uh, Again, still looks better. Performance, I still see more detail in the graphs than I did with FSR3. And I'm not noticing any sizzle or shimmering or anything like that. Frame times are okay, looks like. You know, what are you going to expect when if it's below even 60? You're just not going to get that smoothness. But it's responsive. It's responsive. Let's give it a try, see what happens. Can I last long enough? Where are you guys at? Haha. That was good. Oh, he survived. Man, we've got FPS hanging around just below 50 FPS with this battle and the movement. Who else is left down here? I hear you. He's below me somewhere. Ah. Graphically, looks great. Not really noticing much in the way of sizzles or shimmers. The gun itself, I mean, yeah, looks fine. Maybe a little bit of shimmer here and there, but not too much. Aha. Oh, great. Gotcha. All right, so pretty good, pretty good. Again, not hitting 60, not really even hitting 50. The game looks great. It's FSR4 running now, so it looks great. But as far as everything else, yeah, I mean, we're not seeing much of a difference here, which is, I guess, good. CPU utilization is about 30%, but, oh, great. But yeah, no FPS boost. Graphically, looks better. Let's go ahead and make some changes and see what happens. So let's see here. So we're on performance. We're going to keep it at performance again. The last video I did ultra performance and we got over 70 FPS, but graphically I wasn't too impressed with it, and maybe it'll look great as well. But since we're right about 60, let's turn on frame generation. So this is going to be frame generation here. Let's go and enable it. Again, we're leaving everything else at badass settings. So we're now in the 80s. Hundreds, okay. I guess that I'm sure that will change as soon as we get into some combat or more areas. So you can see down there too in the frame time counter there. I mean, it's smooth, and I can tell you it feels responsive and very smooth. And moving the screen really this fast, I can still make out details. So like if you're tracking characters that are moving really fast, shouldn't have any problem with it. It's almost like instant response here. Like, I mean, this is not something you would expect, right? With frame generation on, you usually say there's lag, and you can turn on like anti-lag type stuff, but this is handling it very well. CPU utilization about 40% now. Again, GPU is just 100%. And graphically, it looks good. Happy with it. I do believe I will. Yeah. I do believe I'll keep it. Oh, great. Yeah, we're in the battle, so FPS definitely dropped down below 90 there, but still really good. I am not noticing any stuttering with the game engine itself. 7900 XTX and the i7 13700KF is treating this really well. Gotta say, I'm enjoying it. The game is fun. Yeah, I mean, from everybody's complaints and criticisms about the game not being optimized, I am not disputing that as at all. Lower end or mid tiers GPUs, they are not having a good time with this, and that's not acceptable. But if you're running a 7900 XTX like I am, I would say that, yeah, this game is easy to run. Who blew that up for me? But yeah, this game is not easy to run, right? Because you're not going to hit 60 unless you have to turn on frame generation. But it works. Hello. With all the particle effects, yes, still getting around 80. Yeah, tracking characters much easier above 60 FPS. And again, this monitor is 60 FPS, right? So it's not going to really do me much good. It's not actually doing me really much anything beyond 60, but the responsiveness of it is definitely there, right? Um, Anybody there this will help get rid of? So yeah, again, with a 60 hertz monitor, even at 90, it's still, I think, helpful in just making things feel a lot more responsive. Okay, so I think we're pretty much good at this. We'll say at this point, if you have a 7900 XTX versus Borderlands 4, does it win? Yeah, it can win. I wouldn't say it's not a knockout. You have to really bring in the heavy hitters like FSR performance, right? We stopped at FSR performance, I believe, and frame generation. Yep, FSR performance and frame generation had to be enabled to bring us above 60. And FSR4 has been rammed into Borderlands 4 to make the graphics, to help keep the graphics quality up. Hello. Finish him off. Really? Okay. All right, but again, so we'll go ahead and stop there. The 7900 XTX versus Borderlands 4, again, not a knockout, but it can be made to work. FSR4 helps with the video quality. It does not help with performance, but it helps with the quality. Still no judders, no stuttering from the engine. Obviously, if you're running in here with FSR set to just base, like quality, you're gonna get below 30 FPS, which is not recommended. And if you got a mid-tier card, yeah, I've got to wait for those updates. Hopefully they'll fix it, make it more optimized. And if you're a 7900 XTX owner like me, yeah, I think it's a pass. It works. Not a knockout, but a good win. All right, talk to you guys later. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see in this game or anything else I should add or talk about. Until next time, see you later.